So guys, the first thing that you have got in yesterday's mail was three things to download. The first thing was GoToMeeting app that you must have downloaded, or if you're using the website, means the laptops, then you need not use to download the app. Directly click the link and you will be hosted to the GoToMeeting app. That is not an issue. If you are going for the phones, then you will be able to install an app that is a GoToMeeting app, and then you will be allowed to host your see the meeting. Okay, so you have done that. That's why you are over here. So that is not an issue. Now, the second thing that we asked you to download is Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code. This is a product developed by Microsoft and it's an open source product. So now let me know how many of you have not installed this Visual Studio Code inside your laptop. Okay, now I reverse the question. How many of you have installed this Visual Studio Code into a laptop? If you have installed, you can write yes, I have installed. Yes, okay. I got a message, yes. Okay, means yes, installed. Okay, many of you, most of you have installed this, so well and good. So there are many versions of this: Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. All are over here. If you are using 32-bit installer, then there is some tricks that is to be used. You can download the 32-bit installer, and the tricks will be available in YouTube. There will be some permanent tricks also and some temporary tricks. You can go for it. If you're not using a 32-bit laptop, the 32-bit operating system, then you will be easily being accessible through this. Okay. Now, after this, the second thing that is going to be installed is the Anaconda. Now, many of you, I want to know, first of all, that how many of you are from the Python background? Means know Python, know the basics, and want to enhance it. How many of you are from that background? Or else you can tell me in this way, it will be very easy for you to make me understand. Which level do you grade yourself in Python? Beginner, intermediate, or advanced? Just let me know in the comment section. Beginner. Kumar Adarsh says as a beginner. Okay, very good. We will try to make you grab the entire knowledge, and you will feeling like you are in an intermediate now, because advanced is something at a different level. We need to learn many things. So most of you are the beginners. So we will just very briefly and basically we will go for it. Now let me know that how many are from programming background, means you know certain programming languages, or else you can tell me any language name that you previously know, so that it is easier for me to make you means get what you know and tell you accordingly. C, very good. C, okay. C again, very good. Okay, so I got three responses and three of them are from C, and there is a C, C++, very good. Okay, there's again C, C++. Okay, so most probably what I could see that you know how to make logics, basically. A little bit of logic, you can make it. And now it's my work now. If you know the basics of this C, C++, then it's totally my work to make you understand how to make logics and integrate things in Python, because Python is much easier to understand, to interpret than C, C++. So over here, we come with Anaconda right over here, and you will find that if you want to download, you can go somewhere over here, Anaconda downloads, you will find somewhere, and you can download the Anaconda edition. Okay, you can write Anaconda download and you will find Anaconda. This is basically an open source platform of Python and multiple editions of Python. Like you will have a Spider over here, you will have PyCharm over here, then you will have Jupyter Labs, Jupyter, many other platforms are there. Okay, so if you don't want to install Anaconda, Then what you can do, you can install some other versions, like you can install Python 3 directly, you can install Spider directly, whatever you have, you can install that. You can install Python directly, no issue with it. What to integrate, I will tell you over here. Anaconda is not the compulsory one. I basically prefer Anaconda because if you are at the basics, then you get that Jupyter Jupyter into it. That's why I prefer Anaconda. Now, let me tell you, come to this parts and tell you how you will integrate Anaconda. So once you download and install Visual Studio Code Anaconda, then what you need to do, you need to first of all open the Visual Studio Code. So when you open the Visual Studio Code, the interface will be something like this. These all will be not available over there because I'm working at the Git repository right now. I will tell you what is this all about, because this is an introductory session and I will explain you what all things and how to set up everything at your system. Okay. So what we have to do, you will find this interface. Now let me know that how many are you familiar with Visual Studio Code. If you are not, then you let me know that I'm not familiar. If you are familiar, then you can know that you're familiar with this. I am very good. Mihir says he is. Okay, Adarsh says he's not. Very good, Adarsh. I will make you understand. Okay, many of you are not familiar with this platform of Visual Studio Code. Viranchi is familiar. Very good. So guys, now let me brief you. Once you Visual Studio Code is, first of all, let me tell you what is Visual Studio Code. It is nothing but a normal Notepad and Notepad++ editor. You can say, if you what you do in a Notepad, you do the same thing in Visual Studio Code. Only the difference is over here you find a lot of extensions that could be integrated, and you can do any programming language over here. For example, in the same Visual Studio Code, you can do web development. In the same Visual Studio Code, you can do .NET. In the same Visual Studio Code, you can do Node.js, JavaScript, and in the same Visual Studio Code, you can do Arduino programming, Python programming, Java programming, app development, everything. So this is why Visual Studio Code is most widely used code editor. And the second thing, you know about the command prompt, right? Command prompt is something that the terminal that a Windows has. That same terminal we get directly in Visual Studio Code right over here. You can see this terminal Visual Studio Code has embedded over here, and this is the most beautiful thing about this code editor. Now, it is not that the Visual Studio Code has no competitors. It has a competitor. I will just let you know about the competitor over here. So right over here, it has a competitor, WebStorm. This is its competitor, WebStorm, and all of WebStorm products are a competitor of Visual Studio Code. But this WebStorm is not free. It can handle obviously a better data than Visual Studio Code, but this is not free. So a professional who is having a lot of work and a lot of traffic into the web development and all other stuffs, a lot of usage of data, then at that particular time, WebStorm works well with the things. It has a parent company, JetBrains. JetBrains is a parent company of WebStorm. So this is what. Now let me give some introductory of Visual Studio Code. So over here you will find, see, this is the Explorer. Okay, this is nothing. You can see we have over here in the file menu, we have folders. Okay, so you will create a folder. For example, you will create Python folder. Okay, so you will just open that folder Python right over here. You will just select that Python folder and you will open it. Okay, once you open it, the interface inside all the folders, files inside that Python folder will be shown you over here. This is the Explorer, right? Now, this is the search. It will search anything. For example, you want a keyword Python, you want to search. Then if you search it, it will search in each and every file and it will let you know that in what all files this Python is having. So you can see over here, we have Python used in git ignore and we have Python used in readme file. So it searches the entire folder for your preferences. Okay, now this is Git. You don't go for this. You come to this part. This is the extensions, and you please write down the extension list that I'm telling you, because these extensions will be very useful for you. So the extension names you can download. Auto close tag will not be helpful for you. Okay, auto rename tag will also be not helpful for you. Yeah, this you can install. Bracket pair colorizer. You just write note down it. It's bracket pair colorizer. Just note it down. Then you have the code runner, code spell checker. You have two extensions. One is code runner, one is code spell checker. Once you install these extensions, then we don't just use these extensions anymore. Means uninstall it and then install it. This is not done. Once installed, that means installed. So we just forget the names. Uh, what happened? Yeah, Rocky, you are telling something. Are you want to say something, Rocky? You can install this editor config for VS Code. You are not able to hear my voice. Guys, let me know if my voice is audible to all of you. Just let me know. It is crystal clear to all of you, or else there is some issue, there is some noise, anything. It's clear. Okay, Biranchi says it's clear. Rocky, maybe your internet connection is little not good. You can find it a little way that you can log out of the session and then log in again, so that it is a little bit clear to you. Now you have error lens. You can go for this installation error lens. Okay, I just moved on. Then you will have this git lens. Just go for this git lens. Indent rainbow. After git lens, you just write down this indent rainbow. Then magic Python. You are not able to hear my voice, Rocky, but my voice is audible to all of you. My voice is audible to other people over here, so it's not not a mistake. Means there is no issue from my side. Okay, there is some issue at your side. You just see your mute buttons and your volume buttons. You just see to that if those buttons are working properly and you have the full sound over there. You can use your phones if possible. Just see to it once. So Magic Python you have written maybe. Now material icon theme. This is a better representation of the theme part. Okay, it will give you a better representation over here. Then you have to install prettier code formatter. This is one prettier code formatter. Now Python is all the things that we have related to Python will be coming over here. It is developed by Microsoft. And Python extended. This is a snippet developed by some person over here, Taiwo Korean. But we use it basically. Okay. And this reload extension, if something odd happens, it helps us to reload the product. Okay. This reload extension will go for here. And Visual Studio IntelliCode. This is one you will install. That's it. And we have all the extensions. So if you missed some extensions, you can find out in the video itself that what to install. But before coding, you just install these extensions, because this will help you a lot. Now, coming back to over here in the Explorer part, over here in the settings, just change the icon theme right over here, file icon theme. Click the settings and change the file icon theme and change it to material icon theme. This will become a better representation of the themes and all everything. So this is what Visual Studio Code is all about. Now, how to link your Anaconda with this Visual Studio Code? Once you set up, install your Anaconda, it will be something over here. You will find inside C, inside users, whatever path you have selected, you will be having it in that path. So I have somewhere over here, yeah, right over here, Anaconda 3. And inside Anaconda 3, I will have this, I don't remember the path actually. Let me see what is the path. Okay, let me see to it what I have done with the paths. Just wait a little seconds. We can come over here, go to the properties. I will just come to this also. I was just seeing what path is my Python stored to. So there is a yeah. So I have this paths, Anaconda 3, Anaconda 3 scripts, and library bin. So we were over here. So you will find the scripts. We require this path. Okay. We require this path. And then if you come back, you will find the library and inside that bin. So we require this path. Okay. And the basic of Anaconda 3 require this path. We require this path, Anaconda 3. Okay. So we require three paths. First path is Anaconda 3. Second path is the scripts. For all the scripts that Anaconda has, all the scripts will be over here. And the third path is inside library, this bin path, this path. Now, what we're gonna do with these paths? We're gonna right click on this PC icon. You can right click on the desktop too. So you just right click on this PC icon, go to the properties. Once you go to the properties, you will find something like this. Wait a minute. Let me close this so that it is easier for you. You will find something like this type of window. Now go to the advanced system settings. Yeah, Rocky, let me know what is the issue. What are you telling all about? So till Rocky says, we just continue. So you need to just click advanced system setting right over here. Once you click advanced system setting, a document something like this will get open. And with this, you're gonna go unmute your mic. Rocky, my voice is coming from the audio, not from this Pritam Kunju, that is the presenter ID. I'm just presenting in this ID, and it is coming from the audio section. People could hear me, Rocky. Let me write it down so that it is understood to him. It's coming from audio. I believe, Rocky, you get this message over here. So we continue back from over here, right over here. So you can see we have the environment variables over here. So you will just click on these environment variables, and then you will find something right over here. So there are two parts. One is user variable and one is system variable. So we want this to be included in system variable. Now, what is this environment variables? Because you might be seeing that for cracking many devices, for uh, installing many softwares, you require this environment variable and set the path. Now, what is this? Just you think something like this. If you have mm, if you have a folder, and inside this folder if you have a software, then always you need to access the software through that folder only. You need to go to the folder, then you need to access the software. Okay. Now if you saying something like this, that if you are not going to the folder and access the software, if you are able to access a software globally, means wherever you are at whatever folder you are, you can access the software. That is will be a better thing, right? So for that purpose, we set this environment variable to get access to the softwares from anywhere we are working from. Means we are working from some other folders. If you want to access that software, we can easily access that software. To access it in globally, we require environment variables, and we want to access it and an entire system from anywhere. So we'll access the paths over here. Now you see I have already set my 3 paths: Anaconda 3, Anaconda 3 scripts, and Anaconda 3 library bin. Okay, these 3 paths are already set, and now what I need to do, I need to just OK this, press OK, and my paths will be all set, and I will just press OK. Okay, once you did this, then you can go for this your system over here, or else you can go the command prompt anywhere, and you can write Python. If you write something like this, then an interface something like this will be getting in front of you. Control C is used for closing the current thing. Okay, current terminal, or over here Control C is not working, so I believe exit may work. Okay, exit as a function will work. Yeah, so this is how we can return back to the terminal. And if you want to see the version, then there is a Python dash dash version, and it will let you know the version of Python. If this is not coming, then there is some issue in the installation. You need to follow the steps very perfectly and precisely, whatever I told you. The first step is to install the Visual Studio Code. The second step is to install the Anaconda, and then to set the environment variables. That's it. You're set to start with Python. Now, after going for the Python, now let me come to the Git. We will host each and every code over here, right over here, github.com/techcat/Python internship. Now, if you want to use this code in your local repository, then what you need to do, you need to clone this code, and then this is a link over here. Okay, there's a link over here. You need to just copy this link and come to the CMD. Now I will just let you know the CMD. Yeah, this is CMD over here. And inside the CMD, what we need to do, we need to just go to the desired location. So I'm in the Gotham part, so I will just move to the documents. If you want to see what this Gotham folder consists inside it, so there is a shortcut called dir. This is a step. So you can see there are n number of folders over here. Okay, so I will go to the documents. I will go to the documents. Wait a minute. So I will just cd documents. So I'm inside documents now, and I want to clone the entire repository. Now, what is a repository? What we call folders over here, we call repository in GitHub. Okay, so repository consists of n number of files into it. Okay, and what is the use of this Git? Actually, we can directly write our codes and upload directly to Git. And if you lost your laptops or whatever backups you have, if you lost everywhere, your code will be uploaded to Git, and you can access it to the any other, like this what we are doing over here. You can clone it and access it anywhere in the entire with any other laptops. So the code is git clone, and then you need to paste the link and then press enter. So when I press enter, you will find that the destination path Python internship already exists because I have cloned it automatically already. But when you did it, then there will be some processes, and to remember, you need to be connected to the internet before doing this. Once you do this, then what happens in my documents? Let me come to the documents. Yeah. In my documents, you will find there is a Python internship, and inside that, all the things are being cloned. And we will, what we will do, we will come to the Visual Studio Code, and we'll open the file, open folder, and inside that folder, we'll open this Python internship. uh, this Python indentation will open and it will restart and enter get all the files over here. So I hope till here you are clear with the things. Just let me know in the comment section, because we have done all the setup parts and now we'll start with the introduction of Python. Just let me know in the comment section. Clear? Okay. So I got a clear message from Biranchi. Now let us start with our Python topic. Okay, Mihir also says it's clear. Very good, guys. So now, this PPT has been attached inside this, so you can have a reference of these PPT also while you go on. Okay, so this is what this PPT all about. Now, in the Python, basically, let me go with the basics of Python. Python is a very popular language that you know. That's why you all are over here to learn this Python language. Now, this was created in 1991 by Guido van Rossum. Now, you might be thinking that if this is created in 1991, then why it is so popular now, not at that time? The simple answer for this is, at that time, it's around 2000, 2004 time, people used to think that if I know how to create things, then I will create it, write it, and then use it. Okay, this was the concept, and that is why C++ popularity was in the stake over there. I mean, it was taking a huge stake of the popularity of C++ at that time, because over there you could build each and every functions, each and every concepts you could build by your own. But what happened after 2005, when the machine learning and artificial intelligence came into play? At that time, people thought that why we are wasting our time in creating each and everything if it is already available and created in some of the codes. Because Python has many things done, like in if you have learned C++, then you might be knowing that for sorting we have two to three types of sortings, like we have assertion sort, insertion sort, bubble sort. These all sortings are there, selection sort. So those processes take at least minimum 10 to 15 lines of codes and a huge logic in your brain to write those codes. So uh, this is what this Python thing has decreased to just a single function, and what you need to do, you need to just click that function sort. When you click that function sort, whatever things you pass on to that function automatically gets sorted. So this is what Python has done. And now after 2005, this came into play vitally, that people used to think that why something which is already written I would write again and again and waste my time. So for that purpose, this Python came into play, and people started introducing Python into machine learning and got a huge great results in a very quick accession, and the processing was very fast and people tried shifting things now to Python, and data handling was done through Python only. Now, where are the applications of Python after that? You can apply Python in web development as a backend, not the front end. You can apply Python as a software development. Software development is what we call as GUI. I had developed many of the GUIs personally, because there are many things, because you can see, if you are learning Python, then I can tell you some of the tricks and that we use actually. See, if you think you have a webinar organized, and in that webinar you have hundreds of students, so it will be a very big burden for the designer who is designing the certificates to design each and every student with their name and everything. So we have, what we have done, we have created a GUI where we have to just enter the Excel sheet, and we will just take up the names and all, and automatically the certificates gets generated through the data that they had only entered. So there is no issue of getting mistakes in the data, because the data were entered by the students itself, and everything is done, and automatically their mail is sent to directly the mail ID that they have entered. So this is what a thing that Python has allowed us to do very efficiently and very fluently. We have many things made on, we have many selection procedures, we have made the software a little means complex, means you will find it simple, but at the back end it is too complex to understand, because many things have been integrated over there to make things easier and simple. So whenever you find something simple, inside you, the user is facing less difficulty. That means it is seen like something like this, that the developer who has developed the code has faced a lot of difficulty to develop that code. This is a simple thing, because if the developer faces difficulty, then only the user faces easy to use it. So software development has also a very vital role to play over here. Then we have mathematical equations like matplotlib and many other pandas. These all data for mathematical equations and computations and analysis. We have machine learning. Then we have artificial intelligence through Python. The machine learning is the most important thing. Then data science we have for the computation and analysis. Then system scripting is something like the scripting of the things, the scripts that we had, all the things will be scripted over here. Okay, now you just read this step by step and let me know if you have any doubts. I will be just following it, because this is something like Python is dynamically typed. That means unlike C++, we don't use int, for float, double as a data type over here. If we have something, let me give you a practical example of this. I'll just create a new folder. Let this folder be week 1, because we have 4 sessions. So week 1, or else you can write it as session 1. This will be better one. Session 1. And inside this, we'll go day 1. Okay. So let me test it. Sorry. Let it be day1.py. .py is the extension of Python. .py is the extension of Python, which says it is a Python project over here. So in the day 1, we'll just go. Let me give you some introductions. Like we were talking about dynamically. So over here, we don't use like this int a equals to 20. We don't use like this. Okay. So z equals to 20. We don't use like this. Rather, we directly write z equals to 20 and it is done. It will make this as an integer type. When we will be discussing on that integer, I mean the data types and all used in Python, we will be going brief into this. But just an explanation that how it is dynamically. If you write a name over here, if you write a name over here, that name will be also changing the data type of this automatically. Okay, this is what Python is able to do. And there is no limit. Means in integer format, if you find in C++, there's a limit of something 32,000 something to 32,000 plus minus something like this. I don't remember the exact numbers. And there was a memory allocation storage of 4 bytes or 2 bytes as per the compiler, as well as whatever operating system you use. But over here, there is nothing. If you want to write n number of datas, you are valid to write it down. No issue with it. I use some of the characters, so it is throwing some error. Let me give it in quotes. So this will throw you no error. Okay. The error that was showing to you is due to the error lens extension. See, if I don't write something, then there will be error. This error is thrown up by error lens extension that I told you to install before doing all the Python projects. So over here, it is dynamically used. Now, Python works on different platforms like Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, etc. So I told you Raspberry Pi is something if you are shifting for a programming with the microcontrollers and want to do something with IoT, then you can go for Raspberry Pi. And if you have the knowledge of Python, then it is very easy to grab it in Raspberry Pi. Okay. Now, Python has simple syntax similar to the English language, and that is true because if you, while we go to the entire internship, when we go to each and every topics, you will find that it is very easy and simple with the simple English language. Things are there, not a very difficult thing. Now, Python has syntax that allows developers to write programs with fewer lines that I already mentioned you. Now, the next is Python runs on an interpreter system, meaning that code can be executed as soon as it is written. So you can see over here, this is a Visual Studio Code. This is not a Python editor. Okay, if you write in Jupyter and all, then you will find that whenever you enter the code, it is executed side by side. It gets executed side by side. Okay, So this is an interpreted language. Over here also you will find, see, if you write a code and if you write some error, it is getting executed side by side. Okay, it is getting executed, it is throwing an error. If it is not getting executed, then it may not throw an error over here, but it is throwing. That means it is an interpreted language. Okay, it's executing the code side by side. Now, Python can be treated as a procedural and object-oriented or a functional way. Now, what is a procedural, what is object-oriented, and what is a functional way? You can see that C is a procedural language. C++ is an object-oriented language or a functional language, okay? But Python, you can use the procedural language also, the object-oriented way also, and the functional way also. So it is a blockbuster, you can say. With everything what you have from the background of C, you can also use Python. If you have background from C++, you can also use Python. It has made things such simpler with Python. Now if we move to the next, then we have the writing style of Python. Over here we don't use blocks, right? In C++, what we used to do, we used to have like int main. Main is a function where we start the project, but we don't have any wherever we start writing Python, it start executing over there only. We don't have something like this main. We don't have by default header files for input and output, that is IOStream, or if you are using C language, then it is stdio. So we don't have those things. We directly, whatever we write directly over here. And we used to have these blocks. Inside these blocks was the scope of the entire function. Over here we don't have blocks. Rather, we use something. For example, if you have a function, for example, if you have a function like this is a function definition over here. So we use this spaces. Whatever we write over here, there's an indentation. You can see this is called as indentation, the space, white space. So this indentation verifies that this is inside this function over here. It is, if you just go back and write something, it is again to the global part, the main function that is going on. Okay, this part is only inside the function and the rest part is outside the function. The indentation plays a vital role. If you play a wrong indentation, it will throw an error. For example, if I give like this, it will throw an error because the indentation don't match over here. But first, in the initial stage, you will find that you were facing some difficulties over here by writing the indentation. But whenever you write the programs day by day, you will just get it. Now you can see I'm saving the code, but it is not formatting. So when you right click on it, and you just do format, you can get over here format document. Okay, so whenever you press this, it will automatically format the document, right? It will automatically format the document. Format document. See, the document has been formatted automatically. So this you can skip this step by doing this. You can directly make it to save. Means whenever you save, the document gets formatted. So I will tell you this step how to do it. Just go to the setting, go to this settings over here, and in this workplace, their auto save, you can do on focus change. Okay, this you can do over here in the workplace. And the second thing what you can do over here, you will find a settings.json file right over here. You will find a settings.json file. This is the settings.json file. You need to open this and you need to just write editor dot save format on save. Yeah, editor dot format on save, and you need to make it true. You need to make this true, and this will be done. And you need to write a comma over here because this is a JSON format. So this is a comma, and you need to write this. That's it. So what happens now when you do this? Now, if I make some changes, like I have made some extra spaces, if I press save, then automatically it gets saved. I don't know why it is not getting saved. Yeah, it got saved. See, it is working now. So it will get automatically saved. Okay, and formatted. So this is how this entire things work over here. Okay, you can make these changes for a better coding language. Now, Other programming languages often use curly braces. What I told you over here, we use indentation and as a scope. Now, this is means ideally, this uses ideally integrated development and learning environment. Now, what this ideally is all about, it is basically means you can say it is basically for cross compilation. Means we have APIs made by Flask. We use Flask for creating APIs. Now you might not be knowing what is API is. Just get to know something like this. It will create the entire code to a single link, and if you hit that link, that code will be running. So you just understand this. So that link could be used in any of the other languages. You can use that link through Node.js, you can use that link through your JavaScript, you can use through any other language, you can use that link. So it makes such easy things through API. And you can say it is a helpful for cross compilation also, this ideally. That is why. But in Linux, it is not predefined installed by default. So what you need to do, you need to execute this code sudo apt get install ideally, which will help you install in Linux. Okay, this is what all about was there. And now there's a printing, so we'll not start this hello world from today, as we have I've told a lot of things to you regarding the basics of how to attach Python to it and how to do everything. We will not start this. We'll start from here tomorrow with let's start programming, and we'll go with the basics of data types and assignments and all other stuffs. We'll have it tomorrow. But for today, I hope you are clear with the things. If you have any questions, if you want to ask, if you're not clear, just put on the comment section so that we could understand it. Just let me know in the comment section. What is a procedural and object-oriented way? See, procedural way, you can see something like this. If you have functions like function one, okay, there's a function one, then there is a function two. So, and you are what you're doing in the main part, you are calling the functions one by one. You're calling. These are not. I'm just writing normal. These are not the syntax. Please don't try to execute as a syntax. I'm just trying to explain you. You are calling function one first, and then you are calling function two. So this is what the procedural way of this. But in object-oriented way, what we do, we include these functions. For example, these functions are for students, so include in a class. In a class, we include this. In a class, student we include this. And what we do, we just call the the class itself. We just call the class, and then we call the function. That's it. So in a procedural way, what happens if you have 20 functions? Okay, 3 functions are for student database, 3 functions are for parents database, 3 functions are for employee database. So if you have these many functions, then what happens? You need to always remember the function name every time. But what happens when you are in an object-oriented way? The data is more oriented in a better representation of the data is there, and a better storage ability is there. So what you can do, you can make a class of employee, you can make a class of parents, you can make a class of students, and over there the functions of the students will be there, available function of the parents will be there in the parent class, and you need to just call the class, and automatically will find the it is giving you the data that this class consists of these many functions and which function you want to use. That's it. So this is what the difference is, a procedural way and an object-oriented way. So I hope you understood this, Viranchi. Yes, very good. So any other questions that I could answer you, because we have very less time and I don't believe of hurrying with the things. I want you to learn things and implement things, and we want a project from your side, and it should be a beautiful project. Okay, it is not something like this, because it's an internship, not a course. I repeat it again. So you need to be trained properly, and you need to work hard also. So this is what all about. So I repeat once again, because many of you were not there at the starting of the session. So I repeat it, that the classes will be going from Monday to Friday And Saturday, Sunday will be the working day for you, where you will practice the task that will be giving on Friday, and you need to submit that task on Monday. And if you face any issues, any errors, the discussion will be done on Monday. And if you have some issues in today's session, then the discussion will be done tomorrow in the starting 15 minutes, or whenever you have the doubts, you can share it to me. So this is what the entire thing is. Monday to Friday will be our classes, regular classes, and then there will be a task-oriented program that will be on Saturday, Sunday. The doubts will be on the next Monday. And similarly, this is the entire thing, what you're going to do. And today, keeping this session on Sunday was the main motto to explain you with the rules and regulations of this internship. And you will be getting the certificate after you complete the internship, and most probably you will be giving a test at the end of this internship. And after that test, that marks will matter most, that which level of internship certificate you're gonna get. So we are just planning on this, that the levels of internship certificate. So we haven't got specific numbers over here, but yeah, whenever we get the numbers, whatever levels we have, we will just tell you regarding this. So I hope this session is done with this, because there is no other questions. So thank you guys. Just before leaving this session, I will just like to have a feedback from your side, that how did you like the session all about? So I didn't get any comments from your side. So maybe you are working on the projects. Okay, I got one. It's interesting and get to know many things. Okay, Biranchi, yes, you will get to know many things, and hope I also learn many things from you by your doubts, by your questions, because I'm also, even if I'm a trainer, a person should never think that he knows everything. He should always think that he can grab many things from you. Thank you, Mihir. Thank you for your compliment. So guys, over here, we just end the session. We will meet tomorrow. You will get this video after uploaded. You will get it in your mail if you want to refer this video. That's it. So thank you, guys. I will just delete these codes because these are not important. This is just dummy codes. Thank you.